Hello, today we're going to have a look at swinging arm removal on the Bros. There is a set way of doing it and it has to be done in the correct way with the correct tools. I'm going to show you the tools you must use, because if you don't use the correct tools it's a bit like eating a roast dinner with your hands. Bloody messy. Ooh. Anyway, swinging arm removal. Swinging arm removal starts, in this particular instance, with me anyway, I'm going to remove this footrest hanger and pop that little chrome nut cover out. Be careful because it's only plastic and it looks quite nice, so don't lose it. A pipe without that looks gash. Don't lose it. There's the nut in there, which we'll be removing shortly. Remove the bolts, so you can remove that footrest carrier out the way. It's good practice to put the bolts back in the holes that they came from, because not only does it protect the thread, but also you don't lose the bolts, and you know what bolts went where. If you look in here, you can see how that swinging arm spindle also holds the back of the engine. So it goes through the back of the engine, through the swinging arm and through the frame. So it's essential that it's done properly, because the swinging arm has to move up and down, obviously, as you know. Undo the top shock absorber bolt, remove the shock absorber, and then feel what the swinging arm feels like. Is there any movement to and fro, up and down, notchiness, tightness? It gives you an indication then of whether the swinging arm needs significant work. Also, the shock absorber mounts, are they loose? Does it move around? So it gives you a good indication before you start stripping it down of what potentially you're looking for. Then put it back together just loosely, because you just want the shock absorber to support the swinging arm whilst you take it apart. Remove this bolt, 22mm. Remove it. Once that bolt's removed, whatever you do, don't hit that bolt. Don't hit that through bolt. That is not what you must do. If you do that, you run the risk of causing significant damage. Now on the other side, we're going to undo this lock nut. Now this lock nut, you must use this tool. Must use this tool. Special 1/2" drive socket there, or hole there, to put your driver in. That fits in there perfectly. You then use a wheel bar in there, and then you remove it gently. So you remove it completely. See, that special tool had been used for about 2 seconds, but without that tool, mate, it's a nightmare. Now, what you must do, using that socket head, you must turn that bolt about 5 or 6 times outwards. That actually is connected to a a threaded section that goes through the frame, which creates a preload between the frame and the swinging arm. If you knock that bolt out, you'll still have the preload, and getting the swinging arm out will be a bloody nightmare. So you must release the preload with a socket headed wrench like this. About 7 times. Then once you've done that, and if you look, there is a threaded section. It's a threaded section which comes out with the bolt. It looks like it's part of the bolt, but it ain't, because now you drift the bolt out from the other side. You watch from this side and you'll see as it comes out, there is a flange on the end of the spindle, and that turns that section there. The bolt is now right out completely, so now there's no reason why the swinging arm can't come off. We'll release the shock absorber, lower bolt. Like so. And then the swinging arm can be gently coaxed out the frame. So gently pull the swinging arm off, and now it's ready for inspection. The most common reason for removing the swinging arm is to have a look at these bearings. Of course, if you've got to look at these bearings, you've got to pull these spacers out, so that then you can look inside and you can see the bearings. You can drift the bearings out, renew them. I'm not going to renew the bearings on this particular swinging arm because they're in excellent condition, but it just shows you what's involved in removing the arm itself. I'm going to clean everything up to make sure everything's perfect. I'm going to check everything through, and then that's part of the restoration then. Swinging arm removal.